Interesting tournament there. Davis Riley again getting his first solo win. I think it's kind of appropriate to go through his what's in the bag since we have that. Let's get into
Yeah.
it. Kept calling him eyelashes in my head. He's got some pronounced eyelashes. Titleist staffer through and through. So we're going to see that as we move through the bag. No deviation from that at all.
Love
So
it.
had a couple of different samples up the TSR3. It looks like he's playing with the settings on the neck, one from A1 to D1. I think eventually, or tournament gamer, he was playing the A1 setting. Tell me, I'm not. I thought about doing some research, but I didn't want to like cram. What's your insight into the A1 and D1 and kind of weight settings on Titleist?
Yeah, so A1 is the standard it's the standard setting, so it's square square and so for him it's a 9.0 degrees. So like for me, I rock a 10 degree. So my 10 degree is standard lie, standard loft. D1 is involved in I believe that's in the draw setting. From what I remember, I try not to mess with it as well. I try to just mess with like maybe the back weight and just, kind of really adjust to where I feel like I'm striking the ball. So like if I'm on
Mm-hmm.
the toe, and so there's five different weight settings on the TSR3. There's either heavy toe, middle toe, then center, and then heel, and then heavy heel. So if you feel like you're really, on the hard on the heel, then you can put that weight setting and it'll straighten it out, not have as much spin as far as like your left to right shots or for either golfer. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
or your slice, I'm guessing. But so for me, the D1, I believe, well, I
and
don't
these
have
are
it
all
pulled up,
done through
but
the. No, I'm looking at it right now, and these are all done through the neck versus
yes,
like the
the
weighting.
A1 and D1 setting, yes, that's all done through the neck. A1, B2, D3, all that stuff, that's all through the neck. And then the toe and the weight settings would be all through the back. And you'll just use that same weight tool. And you can use different weights. You can use heavier weights if you want more back weighting to get the ball more in the air. For instance, if you're like using an 8 degree driver instead to kind of help you get that flight up. But yeah, A1, it has to do with like if you wanted to how you wanted to present essentially, like how you were doing with like your ping and your settings there. So it's kind of
Yeah.
similar to that, but they have the lock system, kind of
Well,
like the Callaway where it's two separate things that pair up to make that neck.
well, let me pull this bad boy up on their website. A lot of different settings you can mess with there. I think this is probably the most dynamic neck setting. I think slightly behind that is probably the Callaway neck, if I'm not
Yep.
mistaken, in terms of optionality, just straight from the neck and changing your loft and weight and face angles. So
Yep.
pretty interesting. I mean, you'd have to go through a whole course to fit Titleist, but pretty interesting stuff there.
So there you have it. So you just went from 9 to 8.25. So pretty much playing, a standard tour average loft. Because I mean, that's
Yeah,
Rory, that's Scotty. I mean, pretty much anybody that's actually got trajectory control is going to be launching it somewhere between 8 and 9, because they know with their path or hitting up on it, that they're going to add 2 or 3 degrees that they normally wouldn't need to, like an amateur would. So
right. Cool. Man, the other day I was playing with a guy in my golf group, and he was rocking. He was asking. He was kept hitting pop ups, and he's like, "What am I doing wrong?" And then I looked at his driver, and he had like a 12.5 degree driver. I'm like, "That's probably the issue, right? Just to start with, just
right,
kind of crazy."
that's
And then he's
insane.
rocking I know Project X Hazardous, smoke green, similar to Jake Knapp, but Jake Knapp had a little bit stiffer profile than this particular one. This is more along the just kind of standard smoke green from the hazardous line. Not an
Hmm.
uncommon shaft, but interesting that as we go through the rest of his clubs, that he's not rocking the Fujikara Ventus, which he is in the rest of his woods. But choosing to go with the Project X Hazardous. So as we can see here, playing the TSR 3 wood. Again, the Fujikara Ventus Black TR9X, the TSR2 Hybrid. These are just some really sexy clubs. I mean, you can't go wrong with the
True.
Titleist. Fujikara Ventus HB, their hybrid shaft, Black 9 TX, Tour X shaft, Tour X Flex. Pretty standard stuff. A1 setting in the neck in both of these. Looks like he's probably pretty neutral in terms of his delivery. I'm sure he's a little bit up like you said, on the delivery of loft at the ball, but not a lot of left, right, in to out on his path. And you can
Right.
see that when you watched him play. Pretty standard setup, square to square. Not like let's say you look at a contrasting player like a Tony Finau, who is completely wide open with the body, taking it
Yep.
out, bringing it back in. Iron choices, mixed bag. Love the combo set, which will continue to mix it up as they go lower. Titleist T100 in the 3 iron at 25 degrees. Again, rocking that Fujikara Ventus hybrid shaft, black T at 10, Tour X, and then Titleist T100s in his 4 through 6 with the KBS C taper at 125 grams, stiff plus. We love us some KBS iron shafts in this room. So
Absolutely.
again,
That's an
progressively
interesting choice. 3 iron, 25 degrees, but with a graphite shaft, that's some stick play right there. That dude knows how to swing it because my 3 iron's like 19 or 20. I need that to be lofted down. I'm not hitting mine. I'm not compressing mine like him. He's got a lot going on with that. Damn, I'm
yeah.
jealous.
I didn't know you were rocking a 3 iron. I didn't know you had a 3 iron. I thought you only went to 4.
Well, it's always in the closet just in case if it wants to come out and play. But
Okay,
right now my hybrid is doing me justice, is doing me well. I'm hitting that thing about 240, 245. No need to change it up. No need to get
right.
crazy.
Don't mess with what's working.
Don't mess with what's
Um, then we
working.
get then we get down to the players irons, your scoring clubs. So he's rocking the Titleist 620 MBs in the 7 through 9. Again, keeping the KBS C taper consistent throughout that. I love these clubs. I don't know, man. I can see, like, I always love this kind style of bag from back when we were playing the Nike irons and they had the
Hmm.
combo, like the true combo set. And I think we both ended up with the one that, I mean, they were called the Pro Combos, but the iron
We missed
style
it
was
by a
pretty much the
year.
same. I
Yeah.
know. But I
We
would
got that
see people with
2012
these.
set. Yep. Loved them.
I would see these and people's short irons, and I was like so jealous. But 'cause this
Truly.
is a sexy set. I mean, and we know
I love this
Titleist is
setup.
tried and true. Just they just make a really attractive iron. There's no muss, no fuss. You're having to input what you want to input to get the best out of these clubs, and clearly he's doing his thing. Let's go to his wedges. I wish the pictures were a little more defined in terms of being able to see the bounces and the different um, intricacies with the wedges, but he's rocking
Mhm.
the pitching wedge through 61, has a 60 bent to a 61. Love the grind that V Soul grind on the 60. Clearly using that all around the greens, but not out of the fairway more than likely, right?
Yeah.
That's all chipping and pitching. What do you think about
Yeah.
this? And also rocking the heavier shaft in the net dynamic gold, True Temper Dynamic Gold S400. We've been seeing a lot of bags where players have been deviating from the norm. This is a traditional setup, and we've been
Yeah.
seeing a lot of players going lighter on their wedge shafts these days, trying to keep it consistent with their other irons. Davis Riley, more traditional. What do you think about the wedge setup? Anything that sticks out to you?
The 61 degree, but I mean, again, just like you said, I mean, probably plays a lot of soft, feathery. I mean, and then again, I mean, you see his bag setup, so it allows for it, for them to have 4 wedges like that. 61 degree, probably all around the green, low bounce, maybe 4, 5 degrees of bounce. Probably tries to play a little high, lofty shots out of the bunker with it, or like any of his super spinny shots. But probably has like a mid-degree bounce on his 56 or something like that to help him out as far as versatility. If he doesn't want to play a high shot all the time, can play that low skimmer, can get it up high if he wants to with the bounce and open it up. Really traditional. I mean, besides the 50 to 56 distance and gapping and stuff like that, I feel like this is a really
Mhm.
traditional setup, like you said. Um, and yeah, I mean, I've always liked the 46 degree and not just getting a pitching wedge. So I think
Right.
that's also, something very respectable, very traditional, just playing, out of the bag like that. So, um, yeah, the dude is really straight out of the 1980s. I mean, he wants all the help, but then, with his iron set, it's really respectable though, because he knows when he needs help, and then he
Yep.
knows when he wants to see a player looking iron. Because when you go to T200, bigger, bulkier, helper, T100, a little bit more of a players club, all the way into a blade, and then your wedges. I mean, definitely has a really, really sleek setup, and knows how to play the game as you would call the right way.
Right. Right. Traditionalists will love his bag. And I
Absolutely.
think, as we like to point out, he's got the SM10s in the bag. Again, we're still looking for these to be widely adopted. Still have a lot of people still rocking the SM8s and 9s, but he has migrated over to the SM10s. Clearly, I was listening to telecast the other day, just kind of comparing wedges and kind of the spin factor. And these are kind of the lesser spinning wedges on the market these days. They were just kind of pointing
Hmm.
out that the SM10s don't spin as much as, let's say, a Jaws or from Callaway. Just again on the lower end of the spin profile, but we still know what Vokeys bring to the table. Get into his putter, so he's rocking the Scotty Cameron Phantom T7.2. So many damn Scotty Cameron prototypes and variations out there of kind of similar putter. I think we've been seeing this quite a bit with this kind of plate at the bottom and then the individual weights. Just rocking, looks like he's rocking the 5 gram weights at the bottom here. Um, Clearly likes a weighted putter. Probably keeping the ball low to the ground. Not a lot of skidding on this one, so pretty traditional.
Yeah.
Again, we've been seeing a lot more mallet putters. Scotty Cameron's been having to work overtime, get his design game and chops back in form. Not just
Oh
able to
yeah.
put out that Newport anymore. He's got to stretch those design muscles with
Oh
kind of
yeah.
these new players and wanting a little more help. Any input here on the putter?
Yeah. The Phantom is a naturally heavy-headed putter, so not really any much need for him to add any gram weight. So that's probably why it's only like some fives in there. Because me personally, I have 30 gram weights in my Scotty.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, but me, you seen my putting stroke. Rod knows how I putt. I have a long, very flowy stroke. Sometimes I decel, but really I try not to be too quick to the ball. I don't like too much of a pop stroke. I'm actually more of a long back, short through, really trying to line it up and make sure I'm coming out of that same window in that same impact position, kind of like just slightly forward of center. So for him, you see it with the plumber neck and everything like that. Probably has a short through, a short back, long follow through, and lets his club do more of the work as far as distance control and everything like that, instead of more in the hands and arms and forearms and wrists like I do. I feel like this is a little bit more square to square as far as
Hmm.
compared to the Phantom 5, which has a different neck, different shaft, and a different flow as far as the head shape. So I definitely think he has been playing around with Scotty's before, and this is the shape that has done him the best. Something where again,
Yeah.
like we were saying with his full swing, very square, very solid, not much out of the norm, just trying to keep it as simple as possible. So, uh, he probably has the putting mat out, and it probably is just he works on that every day. So I definitely
Yeah.
think that's a pure luck. I mean, and anytime you're talking tour issued only, you're talking exclusive. So
And then wrapping up, he's rocking the Pro V1 X ball. Can't really tell from all the heavy marking he's got across the logo there, but pretty standard stuff. Can't beat the Pro V1 X or the Pro V1, just depending on what spin profile you're looking for or feel off of the club face. So not a
man,
surprise with his ball
the
choice.
way that they're doing it now, bro, dude, the Pro V1X is actually such a soft feel. It's not, well, of course, it's not as soft as the Pro V1, but with the transition that they made maybe in 2022 or so, where they went
Yeah,
to like a softer, but still spinning around the greens, still high spinning, and still, coming out of a higher tunnel, better launch for me personally. I think this is like the most complete ball. If I'm not playing the Tour BX Bridgestone golf ball, I'm playing the Pro V1X, and it's without a doubt probably the best ball that I've played. I
I
mean, just all
I
encompassing.
agree with you. Agree with you
Okay,
wholeheartedly on that. No, because I've been finding them here. Like I'll pick up one here and there, and been playing the Pro V1X, and from a feel perspective, it's just as good as, like you said, previous model or previous series of Pro V1s. The feel is
yeah,
is very. It's not as hard and clicky off the face as the
as it once
X used
was,
to be. Yeah,
man.
100%, and it performs so well. You can tell it's
So
a lower
consistent.
lower launch, and you get a little more distance off of it versus the Pro V1. Cool beans. So that is Davis Riley's What's in the Bag. Um, Again, Homeboy's not super popular. This one won't get a lot of views, but always fun to go through these, and nice, interesting review of his irons. Really, really nice set. Really enjoyed
You
that.
get a lot of stuff out of this channel, y'all. A little business knowledge, a little technical golf knowledge, a little BS in here and there. You're in a well-rounded environment. So, uh,
Absolutely.
hit that subscribe button, hit that membership button. We got you covered on all things golf.